Good morning and welcome to Orca News. The headlines. Trends and topics of President Klavinsky's State of the Nation address. Congress finalized the revision of the abortion law in Landova. President Klavinsky to make official state visits to several European countries. And Orca district is expected to be established next week. The trends and topics from President Klavinsky's first State of the Nation address. Paul Wanders reports.
Last Sunday in his first State of the Nation address, President Klavinsky made his first national address to the people with topics and issues being covered. The president stated several topics during his State of the Nation. The president committed this country to the United States in strengthening bilateral ties among nations, maintaining and stabilizing the Defense Pact enacted in 2016, and economic growth of Landova. The president also stated the military status of the country. He vowed to maximize the military capabilities of the country and a 2-year plan for the improvements and renovation of the service branches. He mentioned that the military spending will solely be on the wages and maintenance facilities of the armed forces and not on arms or equipment. President Klavinsky mentioned the lack of travel modes in the country, whereas he indicated that the Azores regional government has been keeping in touch with Landova but has yet to call on the movement of the people which the Azores cannot handle. The president quoted, "Our country cannot handle international travels as much as other countries would do." He, therefore, with his cabinet, decided to make a 1-year project on making the first ever international airport for Landova. The airport, he stated, will grow much on tourism and will also be acted as the Air Force's airbase. The president stated that the possible location of the airport would be on the other side of Antarctic Bay along the future Sprosk Bayside district in Pike Cot City, which would be connected by a suspension bridge. Moreover, due to the effects of the pandemic and the ongoing war on Ukraine, he stated that the country is not suffering from inflation or a recession, yet the government must keep an eye on the control of the flow of the economy. Likewise, the president stated that prices of crude oil and gas may increase in the following weeks that were brought by high imposed import costs and tariffs. Due to that, he recommended the proper usage of transportation and promoting the use of eco-friendly vehicles. Another topic that the president talked about was the COVID-19 vaccination process. He stated that Landova is still COVID-19 free for almost a year. The COVID-19 vaccination process of the country enacted by former President Limson will continue with the general population ages 5 and up can be vaccinated for the primary first and second doses. Booster shots will be followed in accordance with the vaccination process and the recommendation of the health department. The president then thanked doctors and people in the medical field for what they've done. Moreover, the president was disappointed due to the excruciating long infrastructure projects of the country. The president stated that contractors and construction firms that had been handling the projects have been dismantled with irregularities and incompetencies with deals have been made. The president then called out for a deadline of several projects to be done mostly by the end of the year to be finished. President Klavinsky initiated a plan for a proposed hydroelectric power plant and dam facility in the country after the rejection of the proposed 2-door nuclear power plant. He stated that Landova is committed to the use of renewable energy for a greener planet. The hydroelectric power plant and dam facility, he stated, will be a long-term plan and will not be made right away, such that renewable energy such as the mini hydroelectric plant and photovoltaic cells are used for electrical generation in the country. And that was President Klavinsky's summary of his first State of the Nation address. This is Paul Wanders reporting for Orca News.
Congress amended the abortion law nationwide. More to report from Natalie Coles. Natalie?
Yes, Carson. The Landovian Congress has finalized the revisions of the abortion law in Landova last Wednesday. Congress made a joint session committee meeting after the United States Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, which protects the constitutional rights of women towards abortion. The fusion party with the Red Conservative Party, which is in favor of the said revision of the abortion law, has guaranteed the amendment of the said law. It is now, therefore, illegal to abort a child with no justifiable cases or considerations. The typical abortion on request will now be void and won't be allowed. Failure to obey the said law will have a maximum penalty of up to 10 years of imprisonment for the doctor or anyone who will undergo the abortion procedures. The mother then will be fined $2,000. Whereas, abortion in Landova will still be legal only for some considerations and instances stated by the following: abortion will only be allowed if there is a risk to the woman's life and if there are any complications towards her pregnancy. In addition, abortion will only be allowed in the first 22 weeks of her pregnancy if there is any potential congenital disorder, fetal impairment, or birth defect in the fetus, if the woman was impregnated through incest, and if the woman experienced rape or any sexual assault. Legal proceedings must be done in order for abortion to be permitted for the stated cases and conditions. The amended abortion law will be enacted after President Klavinsky has signed the amended law. Former President Jerwin Limson has been greatly satisfied with Congress for the revision of the abortion law. He quoted, "The right of maternity is viable in accordance to what a woman must have. I still believe in the sanctity of life." Back to you, Carson.
Thank you, Natalie. President Klavinsky is currently visiting Luxembourg ahead of maintaining foreign relations. More to report from our Orca News international correspondent Eamon Rhodes in Luxembourg. Eamon.
Yes, Carson. President Klavinsky is currently visiting here in Luxembourg for an official visit with Prime Minister Xavier Bettel. According to President Klavinsky in his State of the Nation address last Sunday, his first stop on his official presidential visit is the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. The current agenda of the president is to extend bilateral ties and foreign relations among countries in Europe for his vision of greater prosperity. It is still unknown for how many days he will be currently staying here in Luxembourg. Yet according to some reports that we aren't still certain about, that he will be roaming around the country and visiting the Grand Ducal Palace on his trip. The president with some of his cabinet members will then head for Bern and Geneva in Switzerland, Zagreb in Croatia, and lastly Ljubljana, his birthplace, in Slovenia next week. The president is expected to meet up with their counterparts such as the head of state and/or the head of government as well as their foreign ministers. They will be meeting to support further alliances and bilateral relations between them and Landova. Hence, Vice President Jefferson stated in a media briefing that President Klavinsky will do all he can to regain the greater prosperity of the country along with the foremost ally, the United States of America, as well as the European Union, that we would like to extend our ties not only in for the economy but to the people as well. This is Eamon Rhodes. Back to you, Carson.
Thank you, Eamon. Here's our weather for today. The district of Tokershire is expected to be established by next week, according to Picot City Mayor Henderson Pisa. Tokershire is a district of a mixed-use commercial and mostly residential district in Picot City. The district will interconnect the future Lingus Transit line up to Lubhert Village in the proposed Horgown district of Picot City. Tokershire will be a hill-terrain area with ordinary public residential homes with lawns and expanded sidewalks. According to the Urban Planning and Development Secretary, the district would be needing a larger land area to encompass builds in the area such as low-rise buildings, residential houses, and the light rail line. It will be needing a lot of tasks and duties of the company involved with the development process. President Klavinsky in his State of the Nation address last Sunday explicitly provoked the inconsistencies and irregularities of contractors as well as companies that are in the construction and development sectors in which infrastructure projects have gone long. As the cause of that, Picot City Mayor Pisa is not expecting any irregularities or delays concerning the Tokershire District project. And that's it for today's news. This is Carson Elgers, reporting for Orca News. Good morning, everyone.